Hey, what's up guys? As promised, I'm back with another video. This is the second of the two customs. Obviously, we already had ROCKSTEADY. I'm sorry, we already had Bebop, and I spoiled it, but you should have known anyway. This is ROCKSTEADY. You can't have one without the other, so here he is. ROCKSTEADY. He stands probably the same height, just about 8 inches tall, so it makes sense because Bebop was on the Maestro Hulk. I don't know if I said that in that review, but I should have. Bebop, here, I'll show you real quick. Bebop is on the Maestro Hulk base body, and ROCKSTEADY is on the Smart Hulk base body, and they're almost the same body. Obviously, it's not the exact same, but it's basically just a retooled version of the same body. So they match pretty well. That was the goal there, and I think it worked out pretty well. Okay, let's get started. It has the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, whatever line that was, head. It obviously has been re-sculpted. I added some bigger, more aggressive looking horns. Hopefully it's showing up on camera. It might be washed out from the light, but I put a whole bunch of different coats of paint on this with some dry brushing to really accentuate the texture and to give it kind of a translucent, semi-translucent look like a real horn is, whatever. So hopefully that's coming through. I'm not sure if it is. And then I also painted the eyes with a nice big brown eye with the black pupil, obviously, and a little speck of white on there for a glimmer. And that's all gloss coated for the eye too, to make it look realistic. The helmet's got a green dry brush on top of the dark gray to give it that really kind of worn military look to match his pouches and his belt. The body, I didn't want it to be completely smooth because the toy for ROCKSTEADY had all these little bumps all over it, so I sculpted all of these little wart-like things. Now, I know rhinos probably typically in real life don't have those, but the toy did, so I added those throughout, and I think they came out real nicely. They look pretty seamless. It brings back a couple memories of the original toy from the 80s or 90s, whenever that was. The skin's obviously dry brushed gray over black. The tank top's just plain old black. Can't really do too much dry brushing on that. And I think that works well enough on there. Just like Bebop's shoulder pads, it'd help if you could see what I was doing. Just like his shoulder pads, ROCKSTEADY has the turtle shells hanging from his belt as like hip guard type things. So same exact technique. I put a steel loop into his belt, and I put one into the turtle shell, then I hung that from a steel ring. So those hang there, they don't impede the articulation at all. You can pose them however you want to, and there you have it. I think it's pretty effective, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I added some pouches around the belt just to make it more reminiscent of the original figure. And the original figure also had brown pants with black and green camo, so I matched those colors as close as I could, and I gave the camo a little bit more of a realistic look compared to the original toy. But this is the first time I've ever done camo, and I gotta say it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed painting that, because it's supposed to be random, but at the same time you have to make it look good. So you have to space it out just right and all that kind of thing. So I did that, and I thought that was a lot of fun. And of course the pants have a few shades of brown in them with lots of dry brushing. And I sculpted these pockets, I almost forgot. I sculpted these little cargo pockets on there because the toy had those as well. So those have some stitching on them. Hopefully you can see that. Little button on there. And you can see all the texture in the pants. And then kind of like just for Bebop, I added some shoelaces onto his shoes, and he was good to go. He's got a wristband on both sides just because the toy basically had something like that. I'm not sure what they were exactly because the sculpting wasn't the best, but it had something on its wrists, so I did the same thing. So there you have it. Oh, and the knife, I forgot to mention. ROCKSTEADY is obviously a more militaristic type figure. He's got the helmet and the cargo pants, tactical pants with the belts and everything like that. So I gave him a real tactical looking knife. And I mentioned in the Bebop one, I wanted his to look real kind of brutal and, I don't know, grungy. This one is a lot more official looking. Looks a lot more like a standard military knife. So that's what I wanted for ROCKSTEADY. I did not find any guns for them yet. I really wanted to give them a couple of guns, but I didn't find any. So for now, they're going gunless The customer that's getting these actually doesn't live far from me, so I'll be giving him the guns as soon as I can find some and paint them up. But other than that, there you go. That's ROCKSTEADY, and we'll go ahead and get a group shot. ROCKSTEADY and Bebop. I don't know if I can. And we'll put them like this. How's that? There we go. That'll work. So ROCKSTEADY and Bebop, Marvel Legends style, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures. So we have Shredder now. I did him a while ago. ROCKSTEADY, Bebop. What do we need? We need a Foot Clan, Foot Ninja. That would be a fun thing to do, or maybe Splinter? I don't know, probably not. Anyway, so guys, this is it for the reviews for now, for the custom figures. I have one more I'm working on, but I'm still waiting on parts for that, so I don't know how that's going to pan out. So keep an eye out for that figure, a couple other customs on the way down the road, some more reviews, and in the meantime, keep collecting.